What's up, everybody? It is Sky C, your business and finance educator, and your producer, multi hyphenate, all the above. Check all the boxes. Y'all know I come on here when it gets real serious, and when I want to set the record straight. Um, It's been a lot going on. I've been doing a lot of stuff as usual, but the summer's coming to it. Well, we still got how many months? We July, August. We're still in pretty good shape, but I kind of go from being outside and then I come in the house and talk to you guys and let you know what I've been up to. But I came on because I'm concerned about what I've been hearing. The streets are always talking, and a lot of people are very uncertain about what is happening with the government. Every time you turn around, something is happening. And I was thinking about, like, how could I come on and kind of help bring some clarity, to the situation. And because people always ask me, they always say, you seem so unbothered. And I always tell them I'm unbothered because I have understanding about, what's happening and what's going on. So I really want to come here and give you my expertise on why I'm so unbothered about what's going on with the economy, what's going on with the tariffs. I'm going to be coming back on my channel, Cut to the Chase, and I'm going to really do a deep dive on a lot of really, tough subjects that people are not really talking about. I think that what's happening is going to separate who's really in business for real and who really has a hobby, who's really just grinding, who's really just, just chasing money or just trying to make money. And I always tell y'all, don't chase money. And so I'm concerned because people seem to be so uneasy and not at ease because of everything that's happening with the government and with the president. So I want to come and try to bring some understanding. I want to bring some clarity. I want to dispel a lot of the myths. But I think the main reason that I came on is because I want to anchor people. I really want to anchor you and settle you down and give you some something to just sink your teeth into, because I get so tired of all the fluff on social media. One of the things that people one of the things I found in all the time, even going to college and studying business and finance and starting a business of my own and, running my own business. One of the things that I find is that people really don't know what it really takes to not only start a business, but to sustain a business and then to grow a business. And those are all, phases, because everybody seems to be in a hurry. But one of the things I wanted you to know is that you can create your own economy. You do not have to depend on the economy of the government. That's what business really is all about. I remember in high school when I was studying about the tariffs. And it's amazing to me how people are so up in arms about the tariffs. Tariffs are not new. China ain't never wanted to pay their tariffs. When I started studying, I think I was maybe in 10th grade, because I wanted to do international business because I always wanted to travel. And I do travel. I just don't travel internationally. There's too much unrest. But anyway, I think people don't realize that the whole purpose of starting your own business is to create your own economy, to create your own amount of money that you want to make, to write your own retirement check, set up your own 401k. And these are all things that people don't really come online and really talk about. They just come on and they hustling, and everybody is doing the same thing. You see trend after trend. Now the biggest trend is digital marketing, which is not new. But one thing about us being in the information age is that digital marketing is great. It's a great way to make money, but it's a like, for an example, I have a coaching academy that I started in 2016, 2017, somewhere around in here. And in that coaching academy, there's a digital department in my academy, but that's a department. It's just a department. And I don't I believe in giving fresh information, because we're in the age of information and information is changing. So I don't go and buy old outdated information and repurpose it and give it to people. That's one of the reasons why I started Cut to the Chase, because we need cutting edge, what's going on right now. How do I build my business in the midst of everything that's going on around me, because people are very distracted. And when you're a business owner, a business founder, a CEO, you have to remain focused. You're at the helm of your business, and look at your business as a ship. And the waves are beating up against the boat. You can't panic and lose it. You have to know your destination, which is your business plan. You have to stick to that plan and know where it is that you're going. So if you're just tossed to and fro by everything that's going on in around you, you're never going to accomplish anything. So I think the thing that I notice about a lot of business owners is that everything is about do this, do this, do that. Let's make money. Let's do this. Let's do that. But in order for you to build wealth, wealth is the long game. That's the long game. In order for you to build wealth, generational wealth, wealth that translates over to the next generation after you're gone, to build legacy, you have to build it a certain way. And it is amazing to me how many people have businesses but know nothing about the economy. They know nothing about the economy. And the economy affects your business. So I said, I'm going to come on and I'm going to do a series. I'm going to do a week series, and I'm going to break down all things economy. And we're going to, I'm going to teach you how to create your own economy, because when you have a business, you're building on your own terms. You're building on your own terms. Like, people are so, I saw all the memes that were like hilarious with Trump with all of the executive orders, but they don't affect us. The executive orders affect those people that work in the government. They do not affect the people that's in the land. Now, indirectly, it may trickle down to us, but those are not laws. He's not passing laws. He is enforcing what's already there. For an example, he's enforcing the tariffs. Tariffs was already there. China was already supposed to pay tariffs. I don't know why they're having a hissy fit. What else? Okay, people are upset about SNAP. Now, I used to work for the Department of Social Services when I lived in Annapolis, Maryland. They're talking about, they're going to cut out food stamps. No, they're not. You don't ever have to worry about them cutting that out. They are only enforcing what's already there. That's all he can really do. He's enforcing what's already there. When the Clinton administration came and did welfare reform, he put in there for people to work. They were only supposed to stay on assistance for 5 years. And he put a cap on how many children you could put on your benefits. It's already a cap. It's already there. And he said, okay, you have 5 years. And what happened was nobody never went in and enforced it. Nobody, because everything is based on policy. So people are saying, oh, they're getting rid of this and they're getting rid of that. No, they're not. Because first of all, the statistics show that we're not the number one people that's on it. Our counterparts are. I mean, we kind of running neck and neck, but it affects so many different cultures of people, not just our people. I know they try to make it look like it's only Black people that's on it, but that's not true. It's more of them on it than us. People are running around, talking about Section 8, and I happen to work for the Housing Authority when I lived in Philadelphia. They're only enforcing what's already there. There's a difference between Section 8 and public housing. People that work that's in Section 8, they work. The program is not based on people that don't work. They work and they pay rent. Like, what makes you think people don't pay rent? They do pay rent, but the guideline for eligibility is so high. I know when I lived in Philadelphia, it was a lady that volunteered, and she worked in housing. And we were changing over to a new director. They were coming in from Chicago or Detroit or wherever they was coming from. And he saw how much work this woman had been doing for years. She had been volunteering, working for housing. He put her on payroll. This woman went from making zero. He put her on payroll and paid her something like $50,000, $60,000 a year. And she lived in Section 8. It was all in the newspapers and everything. And they were like, you need to get off Section 8. Why? Why would she get off? She still qualifies. Even though she made 50, 60, however much he paid her, still qualified because the guidelines are so high. And see, people don't have the whole story, so they just jump to conclusion, and it's like, oh, they're on it. But you don't understand that it's policed by the policies. So we're going to talk about all of that. We're going to dispel the myths on all of that, because you cannot run a business based on the stuff that you hear on social media. You have to run your business with integrity. You have to run your business with honesty, and you have to know the correct information. You can't be giving out the wrong information, and you just can't be listening to just anything or anybody, and you cannot allow yourself to be distracted. So I'm going to do a series, and we're going to take a deep dive into the economy, so that you won't, because a lot of people, their businesses are just still like a 9-to-5. They don't have any systems in place. They don't have any processes in place. They don't have the right paperwork in place. They don't have the structure, because everybody is in a hurry just to make money. So if it's a hobby for you, then I'm not talking to you. But if you are someone who wants to build a business brick by brick, the right way, setting up your systems and creating your own economy, then join me starting Monday on my channel, Cut to the Chase, and we are going to take a deep dive into how to create your own economy. And I am really excited about it, because I really want to get to the truth of the matter, because this is very serious. If you're not building a business that can sustain these rocky waters and all the stuff that's going on, then you're just wasting your time. And who has time to waste? Nobody has time to waste. And so I think that it's time for us for you to do this the right way. And then after that, the next week after that, we're going to, because I'm now going over into not just from service, but I've also created my own product. Yay, me! Have my own product coming out, which is going to end up like just really being aligned. Because what happens is, when you do one thing, and then you get that up and running, it kind of just opens up the door to, to other things. And so I'm really excited about, about my product. I'm a bit of a scientist. Y'all know I'm a scientist. And so I'm always putting together hair stuff to grow your hair, things that, I made a hair growth for my granddaughter, and it worked. And I created something else too, for hyperpigmentation. So it's something that's to really even out your skin, because I don't really wear makeup. I wear, just maybe a moisturizer and all of that, but I don't really wear a whole lot of makeup. I grew up at the time where you took care of your skin and everything. The product works so good that I've had freckles my whole life, that they literally took my freckles away. I wasn't trying to take, I'm trying to take the dark spots away for an even tone, but I wasn't for it to try to take my freckles away. So the product works so good for hyperpigmentation and taking away dark spots that it's trying to take away my freckles. No, no, no. So I'm really excited about that. So I'm going to, show you guys how I went through that whole process of making my own product. It's all natural products, all natural ingredients. Because why? Because I'm creating my own economy. I have my own economy, and I don't really have to. And most of the time, you don't really see just like the everyday person. You just see, mainly celebrities and stuff. Sometimes you see a few people, but they make those products and they blow up, especially if the products work. And what's different about my product? Let me tell you what's different. I did not want to make a product that took forever to work. I can't stand when I buy a product and you buy the product and the product lasts. So say if you buy some, pills or something to grow your eyebrows or whatever. And on the thing, it's like, okay, take these for 4 weeks. Guess what? It's going to take 4 weeks for your eyebrows to grow. No, 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 no. I wanted it was recommended for me that I don't do this, but I said, no, I'm going to do this the way that I want to do it. Because see, that's another thing about starting your own economy. You get to do it on your own terms. I want a product that works fast. It was like, no, well, if the products work fast and then the people, no, 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 no. See, I operate in integrity. I'm upfront. If I say the product is going to work, it's going to work. I don't want it to work 6 months from now. I want it to work right now. I want you to be able to take the product and use it at least about a week. Good gracious, at least a week, and and just see a difference. I don't want you to use the product for 4 weeks and see a difference. I want you to see a difference in a week or less. So that's how I make my products. So I'm really excited about my new product that's coming out. And I could have debuted it already, but I have to get some things. I have to get my systems in order before I put my product out there. We're going to talk about production. We're going to talk about distribution, because I see a lot of people online, and I just be wondering how you a multi-million-dollar business and you don't have no distribution. You got family members, the cat over there putting labels on stuff. You got the kids working, 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds is like, bring me that tape. You got things like, where is your distribution? It is amazing to me how people have, and that's what lets me know. That's how I know they don't know anything about economy. No, when you get to a certain level of production, it's the same thing. I don't care what industry you're in. One of the reasons why a lot of people do contracts in music is because they don't have distribution. Distribution is a major thing. As a matter of fact, a lot of the companies that start products and the products shoot and do so well, so fast, because they did not create the economy. They did not create what it took to sustain the product. Because nobody makes a product and think it's not going to sell. If it works, it's going to sell. So you just thinking, oh, I'm going to make a product, I'm going to sell. No, and then boom, it shoots off and you have no production in place. You have to reverse engineer it and say, listen, this is a great product. People really need it. It works on people that have, eczema. It works on all these different things. And so I'm going to make sure that my distribution is in place. So when the product begins to, that's why people have back orders. because they don't have any distribution, because they have not thought ahead. They don't have a plan. You have to have there's no way I'm going to have a multi-million-dollar beauty brand and I'm putting labels on anything. I'm going to have distribution in place. We're in the cutting edge of technology. We're in the cutting edge of AI. I don't see anybody with a robot. A robot will be doing something. Robots don't even cost that much these days. You can get a couple of robots to do a couple of your jobs. That's repetitious. That will save you, a ton of time. So that lets me know that they don't have a plan. It lets me know that even though they're selling a whole lot of product, they don't have distribution, in place. They got grandma working, Uncle Joe in here working. They got the kids working, the cat working, the dog, everybody working. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the whole gamut, because we are in a time that you need to get serious about your business. And from the things I see, people doing a lot of running around, just a lot of running around, but not producing anything. And if you're going to make it, I did a show a while ago, and I talked about how your business is your Noah's Ark. It is the thing that's going to make you safe, and it's the thing that your family is going to be able to run into and be safe. Now, everybody is talking about we're in a recession. No, we're not. We're in the beginning stages of a depression. They're not going to tell you that because they don't want you to panic. We are in the beginning stages of a depression. All of these businesses and stuff closing down. We're going to talk about all of that. We're going to get serious about business. We're not going to operate with all these cliches, let's level up and all that. No. Are you really leveling up? Because if not, it's going to be more than diabolical, because it already is. Look at everything that is happening. You're going to have to unplug from that system, and you're literally going to have to create a parallel economy to the economy that we live in. You're going to have to create a parallel economy and generate money and do business for real. Time out for the hustling, time out for the grinding. It is time to really, brick by brick, put this thing together the way it's supposed to be. And it does. It takes some time, because it took me some time. But once you get it done, it's done. Once you put it, just like you have 12 systems running in your body, 12. And you learned those in school, right? The circulatory system, all of those systems. You have 12 systems running in your body. And once God designed you and put those systems in place, they grew with you. Did he have to go in and take that system out and put another system in? No, because they all intertwine. You have an endocrine system. You have all of those different systems that once you set them up in your business, it's the same way as your business grows, they grow. And so we have to, really look at like what's really happening. That's why people are so scared. People are so fearful. And then you have people that are losing their jobs by the thousands. And so you're not looking at where are these people going to work. So the people that start, the people that start businesses, we're the ones that's going to hire those people that are out of work. So you should be looking at how to set up, how to onboard people, how to train them, how to get them up and running, because we're going to be the ones that's going to hire them. See, you all are looking at all the businesses that are closing down, but you're not understanding you're the one that's going to replace all those businesses. You're going to replace all those businesses. All those businesses that's been around for a long time, you're going to replace them. You're going to hire those people. When they were getting rid of the people at the federal government, I don't know. I found I was going to come on then, because I'm just like, you can't just fire those people. The government, you have unions and contracts. You have to get with the OPM, the personnel, and sit down and look at these people contracts. Before they fire you, they'll move you. And I'm like, do these people understand? Like, he can't really do that. That what he's doing is against the law. And so I was just like wondering about, because I still have a lot of friends that work in the federal government and the state government and the city government, and I'm just like, you can't really just, how are you going to come in and just do that without sitting down with the unions and, personnel management? Because contracts, you sign a contract when you work for any job, actually. So it's really serious. And so it's time for us to get serious. And it's time for us to build businesses that have longevity and businesses that have sustainability. And it's time out for the hustle and the grind and all the fluff that you see. And, don't allow people to bait you. I see a lot of that on social media, cars, and because they have, let me tell you something. Most of them cars that them people have, they don't own those cars. They lease those cars. Those cars don't belong to them. Don't covet what you see other people have, because the bigger the house, the more bills they have to pay. It takes a lot to run a household, especially when it's your house. Okay. When you buy a house, the bigger the house, the bigger the electric bill, the water bill you have. And then most of these homes are part of HOA, and they all up in the business, making sure that your grass and your lawn and everything is cut. So you need somebody to keep your grass cut. And if you have a pool, you have to maintain your pool. It's one thing to get something. It's another thing to keep it. So don't be in such a hurry to get to a level that you can't sustain. We don't go to sleep and wake up grown. We grow. Allow yourself the grace and the time to grow your business. Let your business grow at a level that you can handle. If you can handle 200 orders, a week, and your business is set up to handle that, then then fine. Build your business that way to be able to sustain that. If your business can handle more, you want to make all the money, but can your business handle it? If you got an influx of 100 clients, could you handle it? Do you have the systems in place and the processes in place to be able to handle that? And most of the time, the answer is no. That's why you see people on social media packaging their own stuff, and they claim they're making multi-millions, but you don't have no system in place. You're lacking distribution, which is why when they get to a certain level, these companies buy them out, because they can't distribute the product. They can't handle the load of orders that's coming in, and you order something and don't get it for a month from now, because they're behind in their orders, because they didn't build their business. It's all about capacity. Can you handle the capacity? Do you have the supplies on hand? Or do you have to run out and, we need a warehouse. We need a bigger warehouse. And everybody is fully spent, because nobody understands economy. Nobody understands, how to really scale a business. Everybody just chasing money. And if you don't do that properly, you won't have a business and you won't have any money. So I'm going to give you the information that you need so that you can do this thing correctly, so that when all the dust settles, your business will still be around, because most of businesses and people became millionaires during the Depression because they provided a service or they provided a product that was needed and necessary at that particular time. And so all of these things are important. I don't know what comes to mind is Madam C.J. Walker. I don't know if you guys saw that movie, but she was kind of doing everything on the fly as well. You don't really want to do that because that could put you out of business before you even go in business. So that's what we're going to be talking about. I'm going to be coming on my channel on Monday. And then I think on Sundays, I'm going to be back on the podcast, because one of the things that I believe is that your personal development, your building your character, and those things that, kind of weigh you down, it's very important for you to deal with those things. It is very sad to see what's happening with P. Diddy. It is so sad to see that people's talent can take them to a place where their character can't sustain them. It's all about sustainability and longevity. It is sad to watch his empire be dismantled because he lacked character, because he lacked self-control, because he lacked temperance, because he did not get help for his traumas. He did not deal with the things that was, him growing up, without a dad and his mom. And, he didn't deal with any of those things. He just kept, making money. And that's all great and wonderful. But now look, and see, that's what I mean when I say people don't have things in place. And see what happens, they'll prostitute your talent. Because the people in the world knows that talent is equivalent to money. They know that. And they know that a lot of those celebrities are broken. They're broken. They have sustained trauma. They've not dealt with that trauma. And it catches up to you. And what happens is you start to attract the same brokenness that you have. You start to attract that same brokenness. And so I believe in personal development. I believe in spiritual development. And so my podcast more so talks about those kinds of things. It talks about personal development and how to get over procrastination and, not just planning, but, not just time management, because you can't really manage time. You have to manage yourself in the container of time. How are you managing yourself? What are you doing, with your day? Do you have a routine? People have a tendency to get bored because we live in such a dopamine driven, world. But the people that are millionaires, the people that have a lot of money, they really pretty much have a routine, and they get up and do pretty much the same thing every day. Every single day. That's the substance of their life. Consistency doesn't mean how often you do something. Consistency means what is the material or the substance that you're using to do what it is that you're doing every single day. And so it's important for you to deal with those things, for you to get up and to plan and to see what is it that I'm going to accomplish every day. What meetings do I need to go to? What emails do I need to return? I just had a situation, I don't want to put anybody on blast, but, where people start making money and they change into different people. I don't do a lot of things from my phone. I'm more of a laptop person, but I will. The only time I don't return a call is if I'm somewhere, and Wi-Fi and the call didn't come through or the message didn't come through. But I check my emails every single day. I check emails every single day. You will get me quicker if you email me than if you call me. I check my emails every single day. People, I don't care if you bought an ink pen from me, you're going to get time that I'm not going to charge you for. If we're working on a project and I've already invoiced you and I've already paid you and we've already done a consultation, every time we talk on the phone, you're not going to have to pay for that. Every time you email, because I think that, when you're building and you're coming up, you're not just networking, you're building relationships. I want to have relationships with people that I do business with. I told y'all when I first started coming on, I kept telling y'all about that know, like, and trust factor. See, just because a lot of people saying stuff, don't jump on the bandwagon. I told y'all don't know that man that make them Del Monte peas. Y'all don't know that man. Oh, it's the know, like, and trust factor. No. If you go to my podcast, I talked about that, the know, like, and trust factor. People telling you, oh, people have to get to know you. You do not know the CEOs, founders. You don't know these people. And now what are we finding out? We're finding out all the poisons and stuff that they putting in the food, been putting in the food forever. Now they talking about you eating humans and Soylent Green. I talked to y'all about that too. I'm always ahead of the curve. I'm always ahead of the game. Stuff they talking about now, I done talked about 2 and 3 years ago. I'm always ahead. All my people always ahead. They be like, you prepared us for that always. Like we was doing that 2 years ago. Yeah. Now y'all just now catching up. I told you, know, like, and trust starts with you. Credibility. What is credit? I'm going to talk about all this stuff. What is credit? Credit is a trust instrument. In order for you to have credibility, you have to first have believability. What's believability? Believability means, do you believe in yourself? The know, like, and trust factor, it starts with you. Do you believe in yourself? Do you trust yourself? Do you know yourself? The know, do you like yourself? Yeah. Do you trust yourself? Before I can build credibility with anybody else, I have to first build credibility with myself. I got to believe in the product that I'm selling. I got to believe that and know that it answers a problem in somebody's life. I have to know that what I'm doing is going to make impact in your life. So credibility, the know, like, and trust factor, it starts with you. I'm not trying to build credibility with you if I don't have credibility with myself. So do you tell yourself things and then you don't never follow through? Do you say, oh, well, I'm going to get up and I'm going to go to the gym and you ain't went to the gym yet? Well, then you have no credibility because you don't believe in yourself. So how is somebody else going to believe in you? How are you going to extend credibility or trust or exchange a trust instrument with somebody else when you can't even show up for yourself? I keep telling you, everything starts with you. Everything is internal and then it works its way out. Y'all want to do everything external and then work your way in. And now all of these companies that you trusted, that you thought you knew, that you trusted and that you like, what did I say? I did a show. Everything that I done told y'all has come to pass. I did a show about make your name great. Matter of fact, I have a program. Make your name great. Okay, y'all making Coach great, Birkin and Louis and all of them great, and then what? You come and find out what you found out. What did you find out? What did you find out? You found out that those bags, China, what did China tell y'all? They making the bags for $5 and selling them to you for $5,000. But you trusted them. You trusted people that you didn't know. What does that tell you? So now Those bags that they told you were a knockoff, them Birkin bags that they told you. Why? Because see, you're worrying about how people see you. The people that's going to make it are let me tell you something. I should have bought my book. We'll talk about it. The people that's going to make it are the people that know that, no, I'm not trying to create value. I am the value. I am the value. I bring value to everything I do. I make impact wherever I go, with whoever I talk to. Your life will never be the same after you have had an experience and an encounter and a conversation with me. And so, now you're seeing that the Walmart Birkin bag that they told you was a knockoff was really an original. Why? Because they just want money. They just want money. They don't care about integrity. But let me tell you something about money. We're gonna talk about that a whole lot too. Let me tell you something about money. Let me tell you what's happening. The wealth transfer don't have nothing to do with the piece of paper. Money is spiritual. The wealth transfer has to do with the fact that why is it that all these people are billionaires, but they still working? Because why? They cannot hold on to the money. Why? Because money is attracted to value. They got to keep lying, keep being dishonest. They got to keep stealing to hold on to the money, because the money is trying to get away from them. And where's the money trying to go? It's trying to come over here to me. Why? Because it's attracted to value. I am so glad Taraji got it. She must have seen my video, because I sure was talking up to her. Nobody can pay you your worth because you're priceless. They can pay you your value, but not your worth. It's two totally different things. It's all about perspective and about how you see yourself. And business is, what is business? Business is when you take from head to toe everything about you, how you do you wrap it up, put a bow around it, and you create a business. And it represents you. That's why they call it an organization, because it's an extension of who you are. That's why they call it a brand. Oh, well, what's my brand? Your brand is how you do what you do. Your brand is you. You don't have to do nothing different. You just have to be yourself. And stop trying to be like everybody else. Stop trying to compare yourself with everybody else. Your fingerprint is not like anybody else. So you have to learn how to take you and recreate yourself in the form of a business. And so we're going to talk about all of that over these next, I think I'm going to do like 4 weeks. I don't know. It's probably might be 6 weeks. Who knows? Because it's so important for you to do this thing the correct way. When Noah was making his ark, it took him 120 years. Now, this is Bible scholars says it took him 120 years. See, they don't never tell you how long stuff take. They just tell you, he just made the ark like on Monday and Tuesday. Everybody just ran in. No. And he was laughed at. They didn't believe him. Rain. It's going to rain. They had never seen rain. Because why? Because the earth and the grass and all of that was watered by the dew. You ever go outside and the grass is wet? That's the dew. But God told him it was going to rain. See, you have to be a visionary, and you have to know that what you see is going to come to pass. Believability. You got to trust. You have to know it. You got to show up as you because you like you. Boom. That's it. I like me. And if you like me, God bless you. And if you don't like me, God bless you. And if the verdict ain't in, God bless you. So it's time to do this thing for real. You know, when I started my business in 2015, I moved to Houston in 2013, and I was just like, I didn't even know where to start, what to do. I went right and got my business books from college and I pulled them babies out. And I was like, okay, what was the first thing that I had ever done? I created a program in 1995. So I don't create curriculums and courses. I create programs. Program is way different than a curriculum and a course. A curriculum and a course is part of a program, but I create programs. Because in order for you to get to where it is you're going, your mind is going to have to change and adapt and grow. Your neuroplasticity of your brain is going to have to grow, constantly as you're going on this journey. And some of you are trailblazers. You are doing this for the first time in your family. You don't have a blueprint. You are truly out on faith. And so you're going to have some principles in place, on some markers, some signposts, to make sure that you're going in the way that you're supposed to go. And we're going to talk about all of that, because what's going on in the presidency is very real. It is very real. But we don't have to be afraid. What we have to do is create a parallel economy, and we'll be just fine. So I think that's all I wanted to say. I gave y'all a little sneak peek of what I'm working on. I'm working on a lot of stuff. I'm going to be doing a talk show because I don't know if you guys followed me when I did the man translation. People still coming to the page. We did man translation. We did it for a while too. Man translation is going to probably end up on some channel somewhere in about 5 more minutes. It was about like relationships and stuff. And I wanted women to know and see. Now these types of talk shows and podcasts have popped up everywhere. I'm telling y'all, I'll be ahead of the game. I wanted women to know like what men really was thinking and what men really mean when they say a certain thing. I wanted women to know and understand that men and women don't think the same. We thinking we could talk to the man like that's our girlfriend. Men don't think that way. So I brought my son on. Me and my son, we did the show. And it was pretty cool. I didn't promote it as much as I should have promoted it, but I'm starting to promote it now. And so the talk show that I'm getting ready to do is called the Kryptonite Chronicles. And it's a part of my testimony where I talk about once upon a time, a long, 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 long time ago, I was married. And I didn't know that I was married to a narcissist. And I didn't find out until it's like in the beginning of a relationship when everything is like new. I married my high school sweetheart. So we started kind of being friends at like 15. And it started to kind of get serious at 17. Got engaged at 18. And got married at 20, had a baby. And so it's like you see things, and it's those things that you overlook that be the very thing that breaks up the relationship. So I could see that he was dark, and he was like really prone to depression and down, because I grew up in the hood. He lived down the street from me. Well, he ended up living down a couple blocks down the street from me. And, you're just thinking, everybody, come from something. We all kind of come from, dysfunctional families. So you don't want to judge people, So you just kind of roll with the punches or whatever. But The reason why it's so important for you to deal with your traumas, your childhood traumas, is because it catches up with you. It doesn't go away. Those things do not go away. You have to face those things. So, Kryptonite Chronicles is about not only just surviving narcissistic abuse, but thriving, after the fact, because it's very diabolical. It's very insidious, actually. So a lot of people had it like way worse than me. It's certain. I've always had boundaries. I've always been the type of person that had boundaries. So I'm not the type of person that you're gonna be able to hit. That's not happening. Because I'll slice your throat. I don't understand how people. I don't understand how men beat women up and then go to sleep. What? Okay. Yo, you just gonna play with me like that? No. So you can't hit me and think you're gonna go to sleep and wake up, because that ain't gonna happen. Because if you know me, if you watch the show, y'all know, yeah, sometimes my elevator gets stuck. So no. So I didn't deal with like physical abuse. There were instances, but it wasn't like no constant like beat you up and stuff like that. No. I don't play like that. But it was more so of deception, being deceived, and dealing with infidelity, and basically just they come into your life to really steal your time from you. So my podcast talks about all of that, but I want to really do the talk show because I want to bring women on, to really share their story. I want to bring it all the way out. And we talk about narcissism a lot. You hear people talking about it a lot, but you're not going to hear them talk about it the way that I'm going to talk about it, because I'm going to talk about it from a spiritual point of view as well as a natural point of view. And the things that I have, found, I heard one guy say that if you've been married to a narcissist, you become a narcissist expert. I believe that is really true, because you see the behaviors, like you witness the behaviors firsthand. You just don't have a name for what it is that you're seeing. You just don't know, what it is. And a lot of times when when you think you love somebody, you have a tendency to overlook those things. And so I'm really excited about it. The reason why I call it the Kryptonite Chronicles is because there are two things that can destroy the narcissist: love and truth. They do not like love, and they do not like the truth, because you're dealing with evil. It's very spiritual. And your life is under spiritual warfare. So it is a very, it's the most insidious thing I've ever studied spiritually and naturally. Everything that I study in the natural, I also study in the Bible. I'll go in the Bible and find a story. And I kind of went in the Bible and found all these narcissists in the Bible. Okay, so that's why God kicked the devil out of heaven, because he was a narcissist. It makes sense. So my podcast deals with more so personal development, and then Cut to the Chase deals with, like current affairs, things that are trending, all things business, all things finance, because that's what I master. And that's what we need to that's what we really need to focus on, because business has so many moving parts, and it's really easy for you to get overwhelmed, and people are very overwhelmed, and they don't understand that if you put it in place and you present it and put to them in the marketplace, and you show up consistently for yourself, if you show up consistently enough, you will attract some attention. And if you have a product that is quality, if your services are quality, your customer service is quality, and you're not, I hear all these horror stories with these girls that do hair. And oh my goodness, you can't even you used to be able to just walk into the beauty salon and get your hair done. Now you have to put a deposit. They don't have a website. You have to go. No, that is not how you do business. I do not care how much money you make. I do not care how much money you brag about that you make. If your business is not set up properly, I will not do business with you. I don't care what you selling. I don't care I will not support it. I will not put any type of time or seed into that. If you do not see, that's all a part of your own economy. Your YouTube channel, your domain, that's your house. They'll never get rid of the internet. The internet is not ever going anywhere. So your IP address, that's where you live on the internet. They will get rid of Instagram. They will get rid of Facebook. You see how they shut down TikTok. But as long as you have your own website, you have your own house, your own domain, you will be fine. I got to DM you on Instagram. I guess I won't be buying nothing from you. I don't care what you're selling. I don't care how much money you're making. Because you're not going to even be around. And it's easy to scam somebody like that. I do not do Cash App. I do not do PayPal. I do not do PayPal. I do not do Cash App. I do not do Zelle. I do not do business that way. Because that is not how you set up your business. You're supposed to have a business bank account. You're supposed to have your business set up properly. I'm not Cash Apping you nothing. No. Nope. Because it doesn't cost anything to set up the right way. It doesn't cost you anything. I mean, to get your LLC with the, IRS or whatever, your state, that may cost you something. But no way. You can't even, you have to go through their Instagram in order to, and then put a deposit and Cash App and Zelle. No. I don't do business that way. I do real business. And that's what I want you to do. I want you to set up your business, and I want you, because you can't, there's so many things, these grants, I'm a grant writer myself. I just don't do it for other people because it's time consuming. But they act like you write the grant today, you get it tomorrow. Lies. You lying. In order for you to get a grant, number one, your business has to be set up a certain way. They have to see that you have a business bank account. They have to see that you have revenue coming in. The same thing with the business credit. We're going to talk about all of that. The business credit. First of all, you have not built your business to the point that you have revenue coming in. Business credit is just like personal credit. You can get the credit. You still have to pay the bill. Where the money going to come from paying the bill? You want to get business credit, and I understand leveraging, but you don't leverage until you get to a certain level. See, these are all the carrots that they have dangling before y'all because y'all want to do everything so quick and fast and in a hurry. When you get a grant, they want to see paperwork. They want to see, I work with a lot of organizations, and they say, we get a lot of grant money for businesses and stuff. But when we sit down with the people, we can't give them the money because their business is not set up properly. And they don't even understand how to keep books. You have to keep books. You have to keep track of all your receipts. You can't commingle your money. You can't have your personal money with your business money. They have to be separate. You have to keep your own separate books. They don't have any receipts for anything. Everything is all disarray. So we can't give them the money because you're disorganized. And so we're going to talk about all of that because there's no way that you're going to survive everything that's going on in the world's economy if you're not building your business correctly. So join me every what did I say? Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I think I'm gonna do Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Am I gonna do Monday, Wednesday, Friday? Child, let me look at my calendar before I commit myself. Um, yeah, because I think my podcast is on Sundays. My calendar, but we're gonna do it consistently enough where when we're done, you're going to understand the way this thing's supposed to be done. So again, I am Sky Chase, your business and finance educator, your multi-hyphenate. I will see you guys tomorrow. Same bad time, same bad channel. On my YouTube channel, y'all better show up. Don't make me have to come and get y'all now.